Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're not going to fall asleep now because, it's already 3:48 in the afternoon on a Friday. Usually this time it's beer o'clock, so hopefully I'm going to try and be as quick as I could possibly be, and I hope that I can transfer some information to you. So thank you very much for having me. The name is Gary Mansfield. I'm Digital Innovation Lead for CKR Consulting Engineers. We're out in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, and KZN. So welcome to this presentation around skills for the future. And in a world where, and I think, while I was sitting here, sorry, I'm going to go off script the whole time. I'm so sorry. But while I was sitting and I was listening to Richard and then Khaled, you guys are doing a fantastic job. That is what we need. I'm just sad to see there's no building services engineering guys there. Yeah. I mean. So in a world of pace that's change is accelerating, leaders and experts in the architecture, engineering, construction, product design, manufacturing, gaming, and even multimedia have been at the forefront of adaptation, right? And the reason for that is we need to stay competitive, right? And they have recognized the importance of addressing challenges and seizing opportunities in an ever-evolving landscape. And as we can see with the different ways of ESCOM.
Keep going, Gary.
Okay. No problem. My presentation that I want to talk about was originally about the skills that we need, but I'm going to go between that, so that we're just aware of what's currently happening. And as I was thinking about this, my ideas just changed. So I was sitting on version 25. That's why I was so late with the issuing of the presentation.
Go onto the screen. Sorry. Okay, I'll get the PowerPoint going again.
Okay, so it's still running.
Yeah, it's mirrored because it's on the other screen. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to probably better. There we go. It's on the wrong screen now. So I've got to exit the presentation.
Sure, no problem.
Again. Okay, sorry, let's just go back to one screen again. Okay.
Should we go?
Yep, and then we just want the presenter now. Sorry, it doesn't want to be. So I'll just go to restart this PowerPoint. Presenter view. It is on. Begin from start from beginning. Why am I not getting a presenter now? So the screen's called tab on now. Okay, I'll just go to one last one. Go on the P next.
It's a problem. I can try and put my notes on my laptop.
Let me just close this and start the PowerPoint again.
Should be that one. Yeah, it's that one.
That's it. All right. Beautiful. Let's go to slideshow, present. There we go. Sorted.
Perfect. Fantastic.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to skip that first part. All right. So Thanks again. So the presentation that I'm going to do is just going to delve into the valuable insights shared by executives in these various industries on obstacles they faced and how they identified new opportunities because of these obstacles that they faced in the industry. Note that digitization, sustainability, and workforce development intersects to share the future of the AECO industries. All right. We've currently in South Africa, we have got many companies already that has taken the time to invest into digitization and sustainability and workforce development, right? And we will see over the next year and maybe 3 that these driving forces of change will become the focal point for leaders to invest in, right? Ensuring that they remain once again competitive and also rapidly, because of the rapidly transforming market that we're in currently, right? And when I refer to the transforming market, it's because of new innovations that is happening in our industries that is actually forcing companies to actually look at upskilling their staff and making sure that they are relevant with the times. All right. So my presentation is based on insights from an industry report that was done in 2022, which was a year ago. And it's basically about leaders around the globe that has gone on this digital transformation journey and how they used it for business resilience, sustainability, and talent management. Right. If you wish to read through the entire survey, just afterwards you can connect with me and I'll give you access to that survey. I'm sure it will somewhere. Google and iPhones are listening, so it will pop up on your LinkedIn feed. Promise you. Okay. So many of the companies that we have currently, and personally, I think many of the companies were kind of forced into a digital adoption, right? In my opinion. They were in a catch-22. Even though back in the day they weren't convinced, and if I'm talking about the leaders of the companies, they weren't convinced that BIM was the way to go, they were forced to actually implement it if they wanted to stay relevant within their industry. And this was one of the ways of staying competitive as well, right? So, but if it wasn't for that nudge, where we had software companies and we had people coming and saying, no, but you have to and you need to, and this is the way to go, technology adoption in general in South Africa wouldn't be where we are today. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen amazing technology that has been showcased here today, right? So I hope this presentation, and I think the general message for today was educators needs to jump on board. That was the general message that I got from 2 presentations already, and I'm going to be saying the same thing. All right, that's the amazing part. Okay, so I hope this presentation here is just going to give you, again, another nudge to realize that adoption is now. It's not going to happen, or it's not in the future. You need to make sure that you are aware of what is happening in the industries. You need to make sure that you are prepared, and prepared in the sense of understanding what you're getting yourself into at the end of the day when you're leaving the university, and when you're getting into the workforce. You need to know what is happening right now in your industry to prepare yourselves for it. Okay, so enough of me ranting. Let me try and get into the presentation. So first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about business optimization and how this flows into my last 2 slides that I'm going to be present to you guys. So today in the AECO industry, the top priority for companies is still revolves around achieving business optimization and business growth. That is still their number 1 objective, right? It's fascinating to see that 79% of respondents to this survey believed that the future of growth in their companies is heavily going to rely on digital tools. It would, again, be in our best interest to keep up with the fact that this fast pace in change in our industry, as this will open up exciting possibilities for growth. Right? Companies that embrace digital transformation are more likely to expand their existing services and even venture into new ones, right? Because once again, it's going to be opening up innovation, doors of innovation is just going to open up for us, right? So by leveraging the power of digital tools, businesses can tap into untapped potential and unlock new levels of efficiency. They've also noted that digitally mature companies reported that they were more prepared to handle change at higher rates than those that are less matured. So those who've done their adoption, let's say 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they feel that they're going to be more prepared for those that is going to be adopting in the next year or realizing that they need to adopt new ways of working now, right? And they already got the head start. But, it's never too late. You can always join the bandwagon because that is what we want. It's going to make our lives so much easier. More than half of the respondents said that the companies are hiring employees who lack the skills needed for their positions and plan to train them. And this is what we're doing currently at our business as well. Is now, when I say they lack the skills, I'm not talking about their education, right? It's about the skills around the education to assist in their day-to-day. That is the skills that we're lacking currently, right? And the emphasis of importance on investing in workforce development is important to us because, once again, we need to make ourselves relevant, right? We cannot wait for others or companies to make ourselves relevant. We need to do that. We need to be educated. We need to understand and know what's happening in the industry. And the question that comes up very often when I have conversations like this is, when you're employing graduates, why do we still need to train these graduates? Why do we still need to spend another 12 to 24 months to get them to a point where they can actually be productive and actually be assisting us in our day-to-day, right? And the issue that we're having is that, and barring there is institutions that is doing it, but what I can deduct from it is that there's not many institutions that is actually adopting technology in their curriculum, right? And having a Revit course as part of your curriculum is not adopting technology, right? Okay, there is other things, and it was mentioned in the previous slide, and I'm going to repeat it in my presentation as well. And because of this, one of the biggest issues that we have currently in our industry, in the AECO industry, on the private side, is companies are struggling to find skilled employees. Okay, and when I say struggling, they're struggling to find skilled employees that knows how to implement BIM methodologies, technologies, and understands how to implement this in a collaborative approach in making things. Right. So, if I take you back with a little bit of history, BIM has become a game changer in the AECO industry. And employers are increasingly seeking graduates with expertise to meet these industry demands and ensure that our students' success, we must integrate BIM into our curricula effectively. And the example of that is what Khaled and her team has presented to us. Right. That's the kind of learning that we need in today's world to make sure that our students are capable of just getting into the workforce and contributing. All right. First and foremost, why is BIM education important? BIM is not just an additional tool. It's a catalyst for transforming the AEC industry, right? And by providing our students with the BIM skills, we empower them to be more efficient, collaborative, and adaptable professionals ready to tackle real-world scenarios and challenges in the industry. All right. We can draw inspiration from universities all over the world that is already that has already implemented some sort of direction and training into introducing BIM methodologies into their curricula. Right? Again, once again, because we are so late in our adoption, we don't have to go through the trials and tribulations. You know, it's already been tested, it's already working. We can literally just take that box and say, let's work with this. This is how we can implement it, because it's been trial and tested. Okay. If we truly want to harness the potential of BIM, we should also consider incorporating collaboration and interdisciplinary elements in these courses. And once again, I'm going to go back to what Khaled is doing with her team. You know, like I said, I was just a bit disappointed I didn't see building services engineering. But you know, next year, right, we're going to have an entire team of professionals that is going to be doing this, all right? And when you're introducing something into your curriculum, you know, you can start with something small, but, you know, it's important that we also understand then what is the end goal for us at the end of it. What do we want to achieve with implementing a building information modeling or into a curriculum, and how we're going to execute that as well, right? I wanted to say we can use the experiences of the UK, but we have local experience that has done that now. And we can localize it and South Africanize it, and maybe take that entire research and just show how we can use the principles that she's applied, that Khaled and the team has applied, and how we can apply this into building services engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. There's already something we can start with. All right. So, again, let's remember that BIM education is not just about technical skills as well, right? So for our students, for professionals that is out there already, we must also focus on cultivating certain core competencies among our students and professionals, right? These include effective communication, ethical responsibilities, problem-solving abilities, and understanding the relationship between people, products, and processes in the industry. Okay. To become BIM-ready graduates, our students need to acquire various BIM knowledge and skill sets. It's essential to recognize that BIM education is an ongoing process. Right. As the AEC industry continues to evolve, so should your curriculum. So should we, as individuals that is passionate about this topic, so should we go out and make sure that we are always informed about new ways of working. Right. Okay. So, keeping a pulse on the latest industry trends and technology advancements will help us stay ahead and prepare our students for the challenges that they may face today and beyond. Right. So what skills do you need? And this is just from my experience working with new individuals that joins our company. This is my experience. Okay. And sometimes what the sad part is, I don't know if for those who in the professional field working on a day-to-day, it's sometimes so sad to see that we've got a new bunch of energetic interns getting into your office and they're ready to take over the world. And the first day that you sit with them and you explain to them the process, they would go like, "Yeah, I feel like I don't know anything." Huh? Yeah? Right. So hopefully this is just going to be a little bit of a guide of what I've done in preparation. So the moment we get new people in, it's about a month to 2 months of just training. They don't even touch projects. It's just training. All right. So first of all, from a technical perspective, you need to be able to create and detail 3D modeling using BIM software. Right. Anything from Revit to SketchUp, ArchiCAD, MicroStation, SolidWorks, Inventor. And the other downside of that is, depending to the company that you go to, they will have a preferred system that they work with. So you need to be familiar familiar with that as well. Okay, so it's not all companies is going to use Revit. Not all companies is going to use ArchiCAD. Right. The next thing that we need to know is that model serves as a digital representation of the building or infrastructure, and it will be the foundation of the BIM process. This is where we're going to store all our data for further development and extraction. Right. We also need to know how to draft. Right. Okay. Precision in creating 2D technical drawings and documentation is essential to ensure that the design intent is accurately translated into construction plans. That's what we need to do. Yes, we in some instances, we are still bound to the PDF that we need to issue for the construction site, because not everybody understands where it comes from, but our contract says you need to issue a PDF. Right. But if that PDF is not detailed in a way and that a laborer on site can use to actually build the structure, then it becomes pointless as well. That is where RFIs comes in, and litigations and. All right. Model management. Okay. Because we're now working in an environment where we're going to be using different information containers, right? Whether it's coming from a model, whether it's coming from a database, whether it's, no matter where it's coming from, right? We need to be able to effectively manage this through version control. We need to be able to use the information to do things like clash detection, how to organize data, and then also facilitate collaboration and data exchange amongst various stakeholders. Okay. Added to the technical skills, you need to understand operational processes as well, right? And operational skills in, for example, designing. Once again, building information modeling enables parametric modeling, depending on the systems that you are using, right? And allowing you to explore design alternatives to assess their impact on the overall project, okay? One of the, and this is now again just going off script here, one of the conversations that I had with one of our engineering teams in our office was, I wish we could get enough time to actually optimize a design for a client. Our clients of today are so demanding. They are extremely demanding. They will tell you, no, I want this, and this is the time that you've got to do it in. And what do we do? As experienced engineering teams, you go on experience. And in 99% of the time, you're going to oversize something just for that in case. Just for that in case, I'm going to oversize something. Right. However, if we're given the right amount of time to give actual design options to our client, we can go and use technology to assist us in this process, to analyze in depth, give better solutions to our client. But they don't see it that way. You just want more time. Okay. All right. So knowing how to use analysis software, knowing how to use BIM to assist you in that process, all right, is going to speed up your iterations of design. All right. So yes, we don't have enough time to do it, and this is where we can use technology to assist us in that process. All right. Another common thing that we've seen is, and I'm sure you've seen probably over the past 2 days, is probably artificial intelligence. All right. Okay. My take on artificial intelligence is, for us to be replaced by artificial intelligence, clients need to be very specific as to what they want, how they want it, and where they want it. It's never going to happen. I hope it happens in my lifetime. I hope. But it's never going to happen, right? So what can we do? What can we do to take that fear away, because we also have a lot of conversations around, no, artificial intelligence is going to replace me, it's going to take away my job, it's going to do this, it's going to do... No, it's not. You're probably going to be replaced by someone who knows how to use artificial intelligence. And that is another type of technology that comes into play that we need to familiarize ourselves with. This landscape is changing and evolving every day. Every day there's new AI apps that is coming out like this, right? I challenge you, go find one and play around with it, right? Okay. Just recently, I had a conversation with one of my engineers in the team, and he was exactly the same thing, and he was like, no, this artificial intelligence thing, I'm just going to stay away from it. I said, don't stay away from it. See how it can help you in your day-to-day. Okay. I saw a podcast where the one gentleman was saying that in the next 5 years, we're not going to need programmers. Okay? Next 5 years, we're not going to need programmers. No, right? And the reason why is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with GitHub. Yeah, familiar with GitHub? So apparently, 90% of the code on GitHub is obviously open source, number one, right? And apparently, 90% of the code is written by AI. Yeah. I'm like, no. Even if it happens, you're still going to need someone to go and verify it. Okay. So yes, I can learn a new skill on how to give instructions and detailed instructions to AI, but you still need to be able to verify it. So you're not going to become null and void. All right. Okay. Finally, from a management point of view, working in a building information environment project, you need to be able to, you need to know how to collaborate. All right. If you can give concise communication to ensure seamless information management among team members, it will assist, once again, your outcome, your project outcome. All right. So all of this, the implementation of BIM projects also requires a strong collaboration, project management, leadership skills. Students and professionals who excel in these areas can navigate complex projects, foster innovation, and drive positive outcomes for their teams and stakeholders. All right. So how can I do it right now? How can I become knowledgeable in building information modeling, right? So enroll into BIM courses. If your university is not supplying you with it, try and enroll into BIM courses. Use online platforms like LinkedIn Learning. There's a hell of a lot of courses around workflows and methodologies and applications. All right. Self-study. Get the interest. If the bug is going to bite you, I promise you, you're going to be busy for a very long time. Okay. Join communities like BIM Africa. All right. Look for internships, BIM competitions. Was it this? Was it? I can recall that we had this idea originally for BIM Marambi where we were going to do is it next year? Okay. I'm looking forward to that one. As part of a competition type setup. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm not going to share any details now. Okay, attend workshops. You know, there's a lot of software vendors and software companies that actually puts out quite a bit of workshops and webinars around topics around building information modeling. If it's not about building information modeling, it's about applications that can assist in that process, right? Okay. Go and get to know what the software applications is out there that supports a BIM methodology, all right? Okay, and then continue learning because it's never going to stop. This subject and this new way of working is so broad, it's going to give you new ways of working. Every year there's going to be a new way of doing things, right? Because we're learning and we're adapting and we're changing and learning and adapting And that cycle is going to continue until we get to a model that is going to be so sufficient and efficient, right, so that we don't have to go through that process again. But I doubt it. Okay. In conclusion, for the educators, if we're incorporating BIM in our curricula, it's not only beneficial, but it's necessary for the future success of the AEC industry, right? Providing them with the right tools and skills, we empower them to become valuable assets to the industry and contribute significantly to the projects that they're going to undertake. Okay. So the time is now to actually embrace this paradigm shift and work together to ensure that our students are well prepared for the exciting opportunities that await them in the industry. Right. For the students that are still left here, okay, be inquisitive about your industry, ask questions about your field you're going into, what your day-to-day is going to look like, right? What are the current challenges that we face in the industry? Be aware of it, and how you can help yourself to be better prepared for the future of making things. Once again, thank you for your attention, and I trust that these insights will spark a new way of implementing BIM in our educational institutions and in our professional lives. Thank you very much.